Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Let's talk about the best sounding motorcycle in the world. Now, before I forget, hit that like, hit that subscribe to support the channel. If you like Aprilias, if you like Ducatis, like Panigale V4s, if you like Panigale V2s, see if I can get it in the frame there. If you like Panigale V2s, if you like Aston Martins, hit me up on Instagram. It's ridewith_Kai. A lot of content there. In the past, I haven't posted too much, but definitely going to be starting posting a lot more there. Now that means we're going to talk about the current generation 1099cc V4 Aprilia RSV4s with the SC Project GP22 exhaust setup. Let's get right to it with a cold start and some revs. As you're about to see, you're definitely gonna need some earplugs for this if you have this setup. And let's go ahead and get this started. Get our startup procedure. All right, here we go. Pretty crazy, right? So you might ask, why does it sound like that? Okay, so that is a slip-on SC Project GP22, and a lot of people don't know there's actually two versions of this. This is the slip-on version. They make another version that's for a full exhaust. We're gonna check that out here in a second. Here we are on SC Project's website. We see here GP22 exhaust. Notice on this version, it has dual inlets there. That signifies it's for SC Project's full exhaust system. If we scroll down, we'll see there's a note from SC Project that says this exhaust is a specific fitment for the SC Project full exhaust system, and it gives you the part numbers there. So let's take a look at that SC Project full exhaust. This is the SC1R. It comes with headers, collectors, as well as a muffler. As you guys can see, the muffler portion of the exhaust has a dual inlet. So as we saw with that GP22, there is a version that has dual inlets. It is for this full exhaust system. Let's take a look real quick at what this setup looks like installed. There it is. Now they have a few muffler options. They're both $3,349. So they have a 250 millimeter option and they have a 350 millimeter option. Both are the same price. So with SC Project, you can get a full exhaust for these bikes for $3,349, or you can get a GP22 slip-on for $2,190. So as you guys can see with my setup, it is just a single inlet going into this slip-on system. The full system, it's got the dual inlet. It has two pipes coming in. When I was researching the system myself, it was hard to get info on what this system actually is. And the truth is, for $2,190, not including shipping or tax or VAT or any of that stuff, all this is just a uniquely shaped straight pipe. There is absolutely no packing in there. There's no baffling. It's just a short piece of straight pipe. I know this exhaust is pretty contentious with people. A lot of people feel that it's overpriced. I'm kind of in that camp. I don't want to get into it too much because we can just argue about this all day, but I do feel that it's kind of a lot to ask for something like this. However, when you have a unique product, when you have something on the market that nobody else has. I mean, the only thing I could think of that's similar to this is Liker, which is a UK exhaust company, has a shorty exhaust for these bikes. It's kind of similar, but it's not the unique shape that this is. It doesn't have the unique mesh on the end and all that other stuff. It looks good. I don't want to bash Liker's products because they make nice exhaust systems, but it's a little more universal looking than this. So when you have a unique product, you can kind of charge whatever you want, and that's what SC Project did here. And it's kind of crazy, right? Because we see the full we see the full SC Project SC1R exhaust system. That's the headers, the collectors, the silencer, everything. About $3,300 for that whole entire thing. And then we see on the other hand, the GP22 setup, just that little shorty straight pipe with no packing or anything, right? It's just that little short length of pipe, $2,200, right? So I don't know how SC Project, came up with that price and whatnot, but it is what it is, and people buy it because you can't really replicate it, right? And when that's the case, you can kind of target whatever you want. That being said, let's take a look at this really close again. So as you can see, it's just got this one bracket here. It goes behind the rear set. It just has that one clamp there. I think that's actually the stock band clamp, if I remember right. And that's really it. There's no packing in here or anything, but if you look close, it is a unique shape. It does fit the swing arm very tightly, right? It looks like a custom piece, which it is. The mesh is unique. It's not just a normal mesh that you would see. It kind of has a honeycomb look to it. It's supposed to replicate that MotoGP style exhaust. So it is definitely a unique piece, but I mean, it's quite a price to pay for what's effectively a straight pipe. So anyways, guys, I just wanted to give some detail on this exhaust setup because I do get a lot of questions about it. I get a lot of questions on Instagram about it. I get a lot of questions on YouTube about it, a lot of questions in person about this exhaust. So I wanted to give some details because when I was trying to do research on this exhaust, there wasn't a ton of really detailed, useful information. It was hard to even determine if there was packing inside the exhaust or not. Even just basic information like that, it was kind of hard to get a solid answer on that. So I'm providing that to you guys. So for those that are interested in this exhaust, you have that information before you pull the trigger on something so expensive. I mean, I bought this one used. I couldn't afford to buy it new. It was just too much. And they do come up used every so often. Sometimes, unfortunately, they're damaged because the bike was downed. But even used, I mean, you're gonna be paying a pretty penny for it. You're gonna be paying way more for a used one of these as opposed to, a Leo Vinci exhaust or something like that, which is nothing wrong with, but you are gonna be paying a premium for something like this. Speaking of uniqueness, it may not come through in the camera, but it's one of the few exhausts that actually I think sounds better with a warm start. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a warm start. Let's see where our temperature's at here. Yeah, our temp's at 142, so it's definitely not a cold start at this point, and I'll show you guys what it sounds like. Anyways, guys, I hope that was helpful. As always, I try to give as much detail as I can to be as helpful as I can to you viewers. With the GP22 exhaust setup, it's kind of everything you would think it would be. It's very, very loud. It's very, very light. It's very, very expensive. All those things that you probably have in your mind, it's all those things. However, if you do go with this setup, that combined with that Aprilia 1099cc V4, it's hands down, no competition. It's the best sounding exhaust available on the market today. It just is. I mean, you've got the R1 out there with the cross-plane inline 4. It's good. It's a nice sounding exhaust. R1s are great. They're awesome motorcycles, but when you hear one in person, it doesn't sound anything like an RSV4. The Aprilia sounds way more aggressive than those Yamahas. Panigales, I personally don't really care for the way Panigales sound. I think the V2s actually sound better than the V4s, generally speaking. But we are going to be putting an exhaust on my 2023 Panigale V4, so we'll be able to compare them side by side, RSV4 versus Panigale V4 versus Panigale V2, so be on the lookout for that. When it cools down a little bit, I'll take the RSV4 out for a ride. I'll take you guys along with me. We'll do maybe like a pure sound video or something like that, so you guys can get, you know, a little bit better idea of what it sounds like when you're riding. So what's next for the RSV4? Well, there's a French company coming out with like a carbon MotoGP style dive plane for the front, so I may go with that. I kind of want to experiment with that. I do still want to get some forged wheels for this bike. I'd like to get the OEM RSV4 1100 factory wheels, so if anybody has a set, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to work something out with you. I'll probably change this fuel lid as well. I don't know what I'm gonna go with. It's kind of unknown if the AEM factory fuel lids will fit on these. If they do, or if anybody knows if they do for sure, then that's what I would go with. If not, I'll just get TWM or something boring like that. All right, everybody, so that's the best sounding motorcycle exhaust in the world. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Hope it was helpful, and we'll see you guys next time.